Yo, Sammy, what you doing this weekend?
Just dropping a ton of acids.
What's acid?
LSD.
Dude, what's LSD?
You don't know what LSD is?
No.
Oh, come with me. I'll let you know. I'll teach you about it.
Alright.
Turn on, tune in, and drop out.
Though Albert Hofmann first synthesized LSD or lysergic acid diethylene in 1938, when he was trying to find a blood stimulant, he did not discover its hallucinogenic effects until 1943 when he took 250 micrograms, believing that to be LSD's threshold dose. After having a bad trip, Albert rode his bike home to calm himself down. After Hofmann's discovery, scientists were researching the drug with many motivations and hope for a positive use of the drug. Researchers thought that LSD would help a lot with mental diseases, and psychologists were most interested by this research. People saw it as a drug that makes you escape problems and forget about the real world. The military and government institutions saw it as a chemical weapon and decided to do more research. Researchers said that the drug is capable of rendering whole groups of people, including military forces, indifferent to their surroundings and situations, interfering with the planning and judgment, and even creating apprehension, uncontrollable confusions, and terror. LSD users develop a tolerance for the drug and need a higher dose every other time. It takes about half an hour to an hour and a half for the effect to kick in or for the trip to start. Body temperature, blood pressure, and heart rates are very unstable. The effects last 6 to 8 hours.
LSD works by mimicking serotonin and binding to the same receptor sites in the brain. LSD has a higher affinity for the 5-HT receptors than serotonin. This means the presence of LSD takes priority and prevents serotonin from sending neural messages. This process is what scientists believe caused the visual hallucinations and bodily effects.
Shortly after World War II came to an end, as McCarthyism and the fear of communism spread, the CIA saw LSD as the answer to defeating the United States' enemies. The CIA approved Project MKUltra in 1953 with the objectives to study behavioral modification and interrogation techniques. Their hopes were for LSD to be a truth serum, a way to reprogram people, or for use in covert operations.
In the years of 1957 and 1984, I became a pawn in a government scheme whose ultimate goal was mind control and to create the perfect spy, all through the use of chemicals, radiation, drugs, hypnosis, electric shock, isolation in tubs of water, sleep deprivation, brainwashing, verbal, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. I was exploited unwittingly for nearly 3 decades of my life, and the only explanations given to me were that, quote, the end justifies the means, and, quote, I was serving my country in their bold effort to fight communism.
One of the more well-known subjects who was in these experiments was Ken Kesey, who, while in grad school at Stanford University, volunteered for experimentation at the VA's hospital where he worked. Kesey's experiences while under the influence of LSD inspired him to promote the drug throughout the 60s, which influenced the early development of the hippie culture.
Hippies, college kids, and musicians found the drug through the words of Dr. Timothy Leary, a doctor from Harvard who conducted research on psychedelics during the early 60s. The goal of Leary's research was to analyze the effects of a synthesized version of psilocybin on humans in hopes of discovering better methods for treating alcoholism and to reform convicted criminals. Leary found LSD. After taking the drug himself, Leary began promoting the use of LSD for personal enlightenment.
Drop out of graduate school. Drop out of junior executive. Drop out of senior executive. Turn on, tune in, drop out.
He delivered the famous phrase, turn on, tune in, drop out, as an optimistic sentiment of social change. His speeches inspired college-age kids to open their minds to LSD and other psychedelics in order to escape society. He described LSD as a kind of prosthetic limb for the mind, which allowed users to interact with higher beings and experience higher levels of thinking and perception, and that it could cure disease and homosexuality and inspire new creativity. This is why it influenced the music scene so much. San Francisco became a hub for experimental music. Bands like the Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane can attribute much of their success to the use of hallucinogens.
Many famous people have warranted their success to LSD. Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple, has said it was one of the 3 most important experiences in his entire life. It's doubtful Apple computers would have came to fruition if it wasn't for his exploration into psychedelics.
Lysergic acid diethylamide was first made illegal in California on October 6, 1966, but was shortly followed by the rest of the country on October 24, 1968 through the Staggers-Dodd Bill. After its growing recreational popularity, LSD found its spot as a Schedule I drug on the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970. The Schedule I drugs are the most dangerous and have the most potential for abuse.
It really reminded me of 4 guys up there on the lecture platform, all of whom had had bad sessions and bad re-entries and had this terrible view of the whole world, you know, and all they could see were the problems and the fears of society, but none of the potential, none of the positive questions about what is man to do next and what opportunity might LSD hold. They're not even interested in that. They are so committed to the fact that this society is the way it is, and that's all you can expect.
People also feared LSD's effects after Charles Manson became a criminal figurehead. Charles Manson was a very manipulative criminal who led a family of impressionable young adults who committed his crimes for him. The most prevalent of these crimes is the La Bianca and Tate murders. Even during the trials, Manson's family drugged the witnesses with LSD to keep them from testifying.
There are very few legal usages for LSD in today's society. However, research facilities like the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelics is testing LSD for its usage in psychotherapy and the medical field. Recently, MAPS did a study on 12 subjects administering LSD into 2 psychotherapy sessions. The results were that those who participated in the sessions had greatly reduced anxiety.
This shows that in the right setting and with the proper dosages, LSD can be helpful for many people. MAPS also found that using LSD as a treatment for patients who were dying significantly helped reduce their fear of death. However, it does not look like LSD will be legalized for recreational usage anytime soon. In a poll taken in August of 2014, only 8% of people believe that LSD should be legalized. There are people who believe that LSD should be legalized and protest for it.
Psychedelics in the global culture is crucial. I think properly used and approached, psychedelics can enable us to realize a much more compassionate and conscious level of awareness and awareness of self and other, and get over all the trivial differences that divide us from each other and become much more aware of and respectful of our consumption choices.
With the increasing tests being done for the use of LSD in psychotherapy, it is safe to say that in the near future it may be legalized for medical usage, and may be the start of a greatly reduced anxiety in our society.
So, Jess, what do you think about LSD? Found it interesting?
I think it's pretty cool. Like, I had no idea that it was used in the CIA, and now they're testing it for its use in psychotherapy. Like, that's some pretty cool-ish.
Yeah, I know. Well, I hope you enjoyed the trip. I gotta go to U.S. issues.
All right, have fun, man.
Thank you.